Hey there fellow travelers, Mark here with Wolters World, and we're in Bamberg, Germany, my favorite town in Germany. I love this place, whether it's the smoked beer here that gives us bacon flavor or the beautiful waterways here. You can see their little Venice, as they like to call it. I just call it Bamberg. The town hall, which is probably the old town hall, is probably the cutest town hall out there. There's so many great things, and even a city that I love as much as Bamberg, there's things I love and there's things I hate. And that's why we have the 5 things you're going to love and hate about visiting Bamberg. Now the first thing you might not like is if you come here in the summertime. This is a big place for German tourists to come, and it gets packed on the weekends. So make sure you're making your reservations beforehand, otherwise you might be out of luck getting accommodation, and getting a seat at the beer gardens or in some of the restaurants can be a bit tough. So make sure you know that before you go. So make your reservations, because it does get packed here on the weekends with German tourists. Now we lead into the second thing you're going to love is, since there's all these German tourists here, like you'll go eat and there'll be Oma and Opa, Grandma and Grandpa German people there eating with you, seeing the city, and you don't see very many international tourists here. So you do get a very German vibe here. But since it's mostly German tourists here, the infrastructure for non-German speakers isn't as good. Now, most of the restaurants will have an English and a German menu, because there was a U.S. Army Air Force base that was by here for a long time. But just know that you're not going to get a lot of super helpful Englishness when you're here, like you do in a place like Munich or Nuremberg, which get more tourists. But just know it pays off in the end, because this is very much a German place to check out. The third thing you might not like about coming here is the limited accommodation. When you do come to Bamberg, you're going to want to stay in the old town, the old part of town. And there's not a lot of hotels there, so make sure if you're going to Alt Ring Line or one of these places, book in advance so you know you get a place to stay, because it can be tough to find accommodation. There are apartments you can rent here. We actually spent a Christmas here in an apartment, which was fine. But just know, if you want to stay in the old town, you need to book ahead, because you'll see one of the things you might not like about here is when you get out of the train station, it's pretty ugly leaving the train station. You're like, why would anybody want to come to this town? And you drive, and then you get to the river and you cross the river, like, oh, it seems like it's getting older. And as you drive farther and farther, then you cross the canal and you're like, oh wow, look at this old town, it's beautiful. So just know that accommodation can be an issue here, so make sure if you want to stay in the old town, which you do want to do so you can have your Rauchbier and just stumble home, or have your white sausage or Weisswurst for breakfast, you get that done. So you want to stay in the old town, but it does suck because there's limited accommodation downtown, or in the old town. The fourth thing you might not like when you come here is Bamberg is one of these towns that it's about walking around. Like, you've got the buildings behind me that are beautiful here on the river and the canal and everything. You've got, you know, Michaelsburg up on the thing, and you go see the Beer Museum, but there's not tons and tons of museums here. I'll talk about the cool things to see, like the residence. You can go see the Prince Bishop's residence there. They lived for about 100 years with the staterooms and the cathedral, but there's not a ton of sites here. So it's not like you come here and stay for a week. This has got a day, maybe 2 days worth of things to check out, and that's what kind of sucks, is that, you know, you want to stay here and enjoy it, but there's not a lot of things to do. So if you do come, make sure you come to relax. We're staying here a few days. Today was going up to Michaelsburg and go to the Franken brewery. Tomorrow is going around shopping at the antique stores. The next day is just relaxing, drinking Rauchbier, and heading out in the afternoon. And that's what you end up doing here. Is this is more of a relaxing place. If you want to see tons of museums and tons of history stuff, you don't have so much of that here. The history is in the buildings and the architecture, because this place was not destroyed during the Second World War. So you really get to see what it is. And when you come in, you see the changing of the centuries in the buildings when you come into the old town. It's really kind of cool. And the fifth thing you might not like, there's a couple kind of timely things here. Now, if you take the ICE from Munich to here, it takes, you know, about 2.5 hours to get here. It's not bad at all. It's really quick, it's easy, but it is pricey to get here for that. So most people like to take the Bayern ticket, the Bavaria ticket, which lets you travel on regional trains to get here for a lot lower price. And the Bayern ticket doesn't necessarily always have the best connections. So if you're using the Bayern ticket to get here, it's going to take you long. You're going to have to change to Nuremberg or something like that. And that can be a little bit annoying. And another timely thing is, if you want the real white sausages here in Bamberg, they only serve them until about noon, because technically you're like, the casings don't kind of survive long enough for really traditional Weisswurst. So if you want to have the traditional Weisswurst and Rauchbier breakfast, you got to get it for breakfast, not in the afternoon, because that's when it's still really good. Okay, now those are 5 little things you might not like about coming to Bamberg. It is well worth coming to. Like I said, this is my favorite place to come to in all of Germany. I've been here 6 times. I can't wait to come back again. We literally spent a week here at Christmas in 2010, and we just love this place. And so what do we love most? Well, the first thing I love the most is when you come here, Rauchbier or smoked beer is from here in Bamberg, and it's basically it's a dark beer that has kind of a smoky or bacon flavor to it, which the first time you have it can be a little bit off-putting, but after you have this, like halfway through the first, you're like, oh, this, you go like, ooh, 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 and then you end up loving it like me, and you want to have it all the time because it's fantastic. But you have the smoked beer with the white sausages and pretzel for breakfast someplace, or earlier in the day someplace, and it's fantastic. But drink the smoked beer in the bars or wherever, you're going to really enjoy it. But that's the first thing you'll love is that smoked beer, white sausage combo. You can't beat it. Have some sweet mustard with it too. Perfect. The second thing you're going to love about coming here is the walkability of the city. Now, I told you there's not a ton of sites, but what you want to see is walking around the town and seeing the architecture that's here, the town hall, all these places. I mean, the old town hall here is the coolest, beautifulest, most beautiful town hall there is in Germany, and one of the most beautiful ones I've ever seen in the world. It's on the canal. You go, there's the canals going around it. You're like, oh my gosh, this is straight out of a fairy tale. You walk around here, going by the cathedral, going by the buildings, just walking around. This city's made to wander and enjoy it. And what I said is really cool is when you come from the train station towards the old town, you literally see architecture. Oh, it's the 80s, it's the 70s, it's the 60s. Oh, it's the 1900s, it's the 1800s, it's the 7. Oh my, now we're in the 1200s. You have this like progression of time periods when you go through here. And when you walk around, you can see it. But what you really want to do is walk around and see all the beautiful stuff out here. I mean, look at this. Look at these buildings here. It is just fantastic here. And the town hall, old town hall is up there, a little bit over there. You can see some of it there. I mean, it's just gorgeous here when you do come. So make sure you wander. You don't just go to just drink the Rauchbier, but you actually do more and get out there and see some of the stuff because it is fantastic. The third thing you're going to like about coming here is really there are very few foreign tourists that are coming here. So you don't have the tourist hordes running you over, and you don't have 10,000 people going, oh my God, I got French champagne in France or something like that. This is very much a German tourist destination, and you get to see how real German tourists are and how Germans really appreciate this city. And that's what's really cool is you see it and you're like, wow, now I understand why the Germans like this place so much, because it's so tranquil and it's so beautiful. And no, the foreigners don't come here because they don't have the big beer halls and stuff, but you'll still love it. And having all the Germans here and not the international tourists really makes for a really good experience. The fourth thing you're going to love here, and I'm going back to that town hall, is honestly, it is probably the prettiest town hall you will see anywhere in Europe. I mean, I like to go there and just take pictures of it and just stare at it for a while because it is so beautiful. And obviously, I'm only putting pictures up right now to show you from all the different angles. And it's cool, and there's actually a museum inside of it you can go to, and it's just one of these things that you go there and you sit and you observe it and you just enjoy being there and watching it because you're like, yeah, I'm in old Europe now. This is fantastic. And honestly, one of the best town halls in the world, and my favorite one in Germany by far. And the fifth thing you're going to like about coming here is, honestly, this is more of a personal thing for us. We've been here, 6 times now, and everybody's been fantastic with us, from waiters to hotel innkeepers to, when we're renting places, to talking to people, going to bars and talking to the waiters and playing guitar with them, with my kid. I mean, these kind of things you don't get a lot of places, and Bamberg gives you the opportunity to meet people here and enjoy them and get to know them, because since it's a lot of German tourists that come in and then they leave at night, okay, or foreign tourists that are just here for a bit and they leave during the day. I know I said a little accommodation, but you really get to be here by yourself in the afternoon, in the evening, and take it all in and get to meet the people who are fantastic. Just like most Bavarians and Frankens, they're really nice people and you'll really enjoy it. Anyway, those are the 5 things that we love and hate about coming to Bamberg. What are some of the things you love and hate about coming to Bamberg? Why don't you put it in the comment section below so we can have some more ideas? And if you like other videos like this, 5 things you love and hate about Bavaria, 10 things that'll shock you about Germany, why don't you click that subscribe button down there, and then you can get videos like this in your news feed every week, because we have new travel videos every week. Anyway, if you want to learn more, check us out at our website at woltersworld.com, or here on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/woltersworld. We're also on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all those fun things. We appreciate your likes and subscriptions, and we'll say bye from the Rauchbier Tasty Beer Capital.